Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship where your emotions were constantly manipulated? Where no matter how hard you tried, it was never enough? Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to drain your energy and confidence, leaving you stuck in an endless cycle of doubt and guilt? If this resonates with you, know that it's not a coincidence. You may be dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists have a finely tuned psychological game. They say the right words, make you feel special, and before you know it, you're caught in a web of emotional manipulation. But today, you will discover how to break free from it. You'll learn how Stoicism can be your most powerful weapon against this kind of manipulation. A philosophy that has helped people for thousands of years regain their power and not be led astray by the lies that destroy self-esteem. Perhaps right at this moment you're questioning yourself. Am I exaggerating? Is the problem me? This is the first trap of a narcissist. They make you doubt your own reality, your own perception. You can bring concrete proof, confront them with something that happened right in front of your eyes, but they will deny it until the end. They will turn the tables on you, saying, "You're imagining things. You're too paranoid. You're too sensitive." This is called gaslighting. And the only way to protect yourself from this is by strengthening your mind. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our reactions. And this is the key to neutralizing a narcissist. They feed off your emotions, your need for validation. When you stop reacting, when you stop giving the emotional response they expect, they lose their power over you. And this brings us to the first big lie of narcissists. Everything I do is for your own good. Maybe you've heard this from someone. A person who in a seemingly innocent way controls your decisions, your actions, your thoughts. They convince you they only want what's best for you, that they're protecting you from the world, from people who don't understand you. But in reality, this protection comes at a cost: your freedom. You start trusting their words more than your own instincts. Little by little, your choices stop being yours. You lose your voice. And when you try to regain control, guilt sets in. After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me. This is the classic line of a narcissist when they realize you're trying to break free. But Stoicism teaches us a simple truth. Your life is yours. Your decisions are yours. No one can decide what's best for you except you. If someone constantly makes you feel indebted, if they constantly make you believe that without them you will be nothing, that person doesn't want what's best for you. They want control. And that control is reinforced by the second big lie of narcissists. You're the problem, not me. Have you ever tried to expose someone's toxic behavior and in the end found yourself apologizing? This happens because narcissists are masters at shifting the blame. They never take responsibility for their actions. Never. If something goes wrong, the blame is always yours. If you cry, it's because you're dramatic. If you get angry, it's because you don't know how to control yourself. If you confront them, it's because you're attacking. If you distance yourself, it's because you're being selfish. And little by little, you start believing this. You begin walking on eggshells, policing yourself so you don't provoke negative reactions. But the problem isn't you. The problem is in the psychological game the narcissist plays to make you feel like you're always in debt, always trying to prove you're good enough. Stoicism teaches us to separate what we can control from what we cannot. You can't control how a narcissist acts, but you can control how you respond. You can stop playing that game. You can realize you don't have to justify everything. You don't have to explain yourself to someone who's never willing to listen. You have the right to say no. And when you begin to pull away, the narcissist uses another tactic. I'm the only person who really cares about you. This lie can be devastating because it taps into one of our greatest fears: loneliness. The narcissist subtly isolates you from your friends and family. They say people are jealous of you, they speak ill of you, they don't understand you. At first, it might seem like they just want to protect you, but before you realize it, you're alone. And when you finally realize this, they drop the bomb. No one loves you like I do. Stoicism teaches us to be emotionally self-sufficient. True strength doesn't come from depending on others to validate our existence, but from recognizing that we are already whole. No one can be your only source of love because real love doesn't imprison, doesn't control, doesn't drain your energy. Healthy love builds you up, makes you grow. If you have to diminish yourself to keep someone around, that's not love, that's manipulation. But the narcissist doesn't stop there. When they see your self-esteem starting to recover, when they realize you're seeing the truth, they throw out the final line. If you leave me, it will be a disaster for you. This is their final move, the subtle or explicit threat. They want you to believe that without them, your life will fall apart, that you'll be weak, unhappy, lost. But look back. See what this relationship has already taken from you. See how much you've already lost of yourself. Is staying in this emotional prison really the best option? Stoicism teaches us that the greatest freedom comes from within. No one can trap us if our mind is strong enough to see the truth. When you stop fearing loneliness, when you realize that being alone is better than being with someone who destroys you, you break free. And now tell me, are you ready to take back control? To stop being swayed by empty words and false promises? Are you ready to strengthen your mind, your soul, and your life? If you are, stay with me, because there's so much more to learn about how to free yourself from a narcissist and build a life where your peace and happiness no longer depend on anyone. One of the most powerful tools in Stoicism is the concept of internal control. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control the world around us, we have full control over our reactions to it. Narcissists thrive on provoking reactions. They want to see you upset, defensive, or pleading. When you stop reacting emotionally, their power over you begins to diminish. Take a moment and think about the last time you were manipulated. Can you remember how it felt to be caught in that whirlwind of guilt and shame? A narcissist's goal is to make you feel like you're always in the wrong, always chasing their approval. But here's the truth. You don't need their approval to live a meaningful life. You don't need to validate your existence through their eyes. The only approval you need is your own. The Stoic practice of self-reflection is one way to strengthen this inner control. Every time a narcissist tries to get under your skin, pause and ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? How can I react in a way that aligns with my values rather than their desires? By focusing on your own actions and responses, you regain power. You stop being a pawn in their emotional game. But it's not just about controlling your reactions. Stoicism teaches you to understand your own emotions. When a narcissist pushes your buttons, it's easy to fall into anger, frustration, or fear. But those emotions aren't a sign of weakness. They are simply signals from your inner self telling you something is out of alignment with your values. Rather than letting them control you, use those emotions as a guide. Stoicism encourages us to observe our emotions without becoming them, to accept them without letting them dominate us. Another core Stoic principle is acceptance. This doesn't mean that you accept bad behavior or abuse. It means you accept that you cannot change the narcissist. You cannot change their nature, their need for validation, or their manipulative tactics. But you can change how you respond. You can choose to stop engaging with their lies. You can choose to set boundaries and walk away when the manipulation starts. For example, when a narcissist says, "You'll never find someone better than me," instead of doubting your worth, remember that this is just a tactic to keep you dependent. Stoicism reminds us that our worth is inherent. You don't need someone to validate your value. You are enough just as you are. And when the narcissist tries to isolate you, make you believe they are the only one who truly cares about you, you must remind yourself. True love does not come from dependency. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, not manipulation. You are worthy of relationships where you are seen for who you truly are, not for how much you can give to someone else. The final Stoic principle that will help you in this situation is detachment. Narcissists will try to make you feel like you're nothing without them. But remember, everything in life is temporary. The Stoics understood that everything is in a constant state of change, including relationships. Just as you don't control when you were born, you don't control when you leave a relationship, but you do control how you spend your time and energy. Detach from the narcissist's toxic influence and focus on nurturing yourself, your well-being, and your relationships with those who truly care for you. There is a powerful freedom that comes from detaching yourself emotionally from the narcissist's control. When you no longer rely on their approval, when you no longer fear their rejection, you start to reclaim your life. And this is where true peace begins. You stop feeling like you're walking on eggshells, and you start living for yourself. Now let's talk about one of the hardest parts: letting go. For many, it feels almost impossible to let go of someone who has been a significant part of your life, even if they've been toxic. The fear of the unknown can be overwhelming. But the Stoic philosophy teaches us that fear is often based on irrational thoughts. What's the worst that can happen if you let go of this relationship? The truth is, when you let go of someone who no longer serves you, you make space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. You make space for your true self to emerge. Ask yourself this: how much of your life have you given away to this person? How many of your dreams have been left behind because you've been too busy trying to appease them? When you start living for yourself, when you begin to prioritize your own happiness and peace of mind, that's when the magic happens. You stop being controlled by someone else's emotional games. You start living with purpose, with intention, and with clarity. Now take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is it that I truly want in my life? If the answer is peace, love, and authenticity, then it's time to start letting go of the lies and manipulation. It's time to embrace the power of Stoicism and take control of your own narrative. You have everything you need inside you to live a life free from the toxic influence of a narcissist. It's not going to be easy. The road to freedom often isn't. But every step you take in reclaiming your power is a step toward true freedom. And remember, your happiness is not dependent on anyone else's behavior, but on your own choices. So, take that first step. Embrace Stoicism, embrace your inner strength, and watch how your life transforms. You're not a victim. You are the hero of your own story. As you begin your journey toward reclaiming your life from a narcissist's emotional grip, it's important to remember that each step, no matter how small, is a victory. Narcissists thrive on making you feel powerless and small, but Stoicism teaches us that true power lies within ourselves. It's a power that is not derived from external validation, but from the ability to choose our responses, to align our actions with our core values, and to stay grounded in our own truth. Reclaiming your personal power is not just about rejecting the narcissist's manipulation, it's about reaffirming your worth every single day. The Stoics would say, you have control over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You can start to apply this by changing your internal dialogue. When the narcissist tries to sow seeds of doubt, instead of questioning your own worth, affirm to yourself that you are worthy of love and respect, that your peace of mind is a priority, and that you are not defined by their words or actions. There will be moments when the narcissist pulls you back in, using their charm or guilt-tripping tactics. It's at these moments that you must lean into your Stoic practice more than ever. Remember, it is not the external event that causes you distress, but your reaction to it. The narcissist may say something cruel, but it's your response that determines how much power they have over you. The more you practice Stoicism, the more you will realize that their words and actions are reflections of their own inner turmoil, not a reflection of your reality. When you feel tempted to argue or defend yourself, stop and breathe. Ask yourself, is this battle worth my peace of mind? Is this an opportunity for me to practice patience, understanding, and inner calm? Every time you choose to not engage, every time you stay calm and collected, you are growing stronger. You are breaking the chains they have tried to place on your emotional well-being. In those moments of doubt, remember the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the essence of Stoic resilience. The narcissist will continue to try to make you feel as though you are powerless, but through the Stoic lens you can see that the real power is in your ability to choose how you respond to them. Let's also talk about boundaries. Narcissists will often push and manipulate until they find an opening, so setting firm and clear boundaries is essential for maintaining your emotional health. It's not just about saying no to them, it's about saying yes to yourself. It's about affirming that you are worthy of respect, that your time and energy are valuable, and that you will no longer allow someone to take advantage of your kindness and empathy. In Stoic terms, boundaries are a way to protect your inner tranquility. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't hanker after what you don't have. Be content with what you have." Your peace of mind is not something to be sacrificed for the approval of others, especially for someone who does not have your best interests at heart. When the narcissist tries to test your boundaries, remember that you have the power to say no without guilt, without shame. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your decisions. Simply assert your limits and walk away. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, you'll begin to feel empowered by the act of protecting your own peace. Another Stoic practice that will serve you well is the art of reflection. After a difficult encounter with a narcissist, take time to reflect. This is not about blaming yourself or overanalyzing the situation, but about observing your emotions and reactions. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this? What triggered me? How can I apply Stoic wisdom to this situation next time? Reflection allows you to grow stronger and wiser with each experience. It helps you recognize patterns in the narcissist's behavior, and more importantly, it helps you notice when you're slipping into old patterns of people-pleasing or self-doubt. With each reflection, you'll become more adept at maintaining your inner calm, more skilled at detecting manipulation before it takes hold, and more confident in asserting your own needs. As you continue on your journey, remember that there will be setbacks. There will be moments when you feel tempted to fall back into old habits of seeking validation or engaging in toxic dynamics. But this is where the power of self-compassion comes into play. The Stoics were not about perfection. They were about progress. They understood that we are all human, that we all make mistakes, and that growth is not linear. So, when you find yourself faltering, don't beat yourself up. Instead, gently remind yourself of the progress you've made. Every time you choose not to engage with the narcissist, every time you set a boundary, every time you practice calm in the face of chaos, you are moving closer to the person you are meant to be. Lastly, let's talk about freedom. True freedom doesn't come from escaping a relationship or ending a toxic cycle. It comes from the realization that you are not bound by the actions or opinions of others. The Stoics believed that true freedom is found in the ability to master your own mind. When you stop seeking approval from the narcissist, when you stop allowing their manipulation to affect your peace, that's when you truly become free. Freedom is the power to live your life on your own terms, to be the author of your own story, and to move forward with confidence. The Stoics teach us that we are responsible for our own happiness. We do not need anyone to complete us or validate us. We are complete as we are. Take a moment now and ask yourself, what would my life look like if I truly embraced this freedom? What if you could live your life without fear of manipulation? What if you could step into your own power and create a life filled with peace, purpose, and fulfillment? The answer lies within you. Embrace Stoicism. Reclaim your power, and never allow anyone, especially a narcissist, to make you doubt your worth again. You are worthy of love, peace, and freedom, and no one can take that from you unless you let them. As you continue on this journey of self-liberation, it's crucial to recognize the immense strength you already possess. The Stoics believed that the external world is often chaotic and unpredictable, and that the only true peace lies in our ability to manage our internal responses. This is the core of Stoic philosophy. While we cannot control the actions of others, we can control how we react to them. By embracing this philosophy, you begin to untangle yourself from the narcissist's grip. Their actions are not personal attacks on you. They are reflections of their own inner turmoil, of their need to feed their ego at the expense of others. When you stop internalizing their behavior, you free yourself from the cycle of emotional dependency they so desperately try to create. One key principle that will serve you well is the idea of living according to nature. which in Stoic terms means understanding your true nature as a human being. We are social creatures, designed to form connections with others. However, this does not mean we should tolerate toxic behavior. The Stoics teach us to live authentically and in alignment with our highest values, not to please others or be trapped by their manipulative tactics. So as you move forward, remember, you are not responsible for the narcissist's happiness or well-being. Their inability to empathize, their need for control, and their constant manipulation are their issues, not yours. It's time to put the focus back where it belongs, on you. When the narcissist comes at you with their typical tactics, whether it's gaslighting, guilt-tripping, or playing the victim, you now have the mental clarity to recognize these patterns. You no longer need to engage in the emotional tug-of-war they set up for you. Instead, when you feel that familiar pull, step back, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I do not need to prove myself to anyone. I am worthy just as I am, and I have the power to control my responses. There's great power in silence, in choosing to not engage when a narcissist tries to provoke you. Often, when they realize they can't get the reaction they crave, they'll back off and search for a new target. Your silence is not weakness, it is strength. It is a refusal to be dragged into their emotional chaos. Another powerful tool is the practice of mindfulness. This involves being present with your emotions without allowing them to control you. In moments when the narcissist tries to manipulate or push your boundaries, mindfulness gives you the space to pause and respond with intention. Instead of reacting out of anger or fear, you can respond with calm and clarity. This practice allows you to observe your thoughts without judgment and to choose a response that aligns with your true self. As you build this inner fortitude, you will notice a shift within you. Your self-worth will no longer be tied to the narcissist's validation. You will begin to trust in your own ability to handle whatever life throws at you. This is what the Stoics mean by self-sufficiency, the ability to find strength within, regardless of external circumstances. To do this, start cultivating a daily practice of gratitude. It may sound simple, but gratitude is one of the most powerful tools in transforming your mindset. When you begin and end each day by acknowledging the things you're grateful for, you shift your focus from what's wrong or what's lacking to what's going right in your life. Gratitude centers you, making it harder for external forces to sway your emotions. It becomes a shield against the negativity that the narcissist may try to direct your way. A key Stoic concept to remember in your healing journey is amor fati, the love of fate. This is the understanding that everything that happens to us, good or bad, is part of our journey. Even though you may have suffered at the hands of a narcissist, there is an opportunity for growth in every experience. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. It's also important to recognize that healing is not linear. There will be days when you feel victorious, and there will be days when the pull of the narcissist's manipulation seems stronger. But on those days, remember, this is the work. Healing is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you resist the temptation to engage, every time you set a boundary, every time you choose to respond with calm instead of anger, you are rewiring your brain for strength. There is no timeline for healing, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself. Understand that as long as you continue to practice the principles of Stoicism, self-control, clarity, and emotional independence, you are moving in the right direction. You are breaking free little by little from the control the narcissist once had over you. Finally, let's talk about the importance of self-compassion. Narcissistic relationships can leave deep emotional scars, and it's natural to feel conflicted. You may feel anger, betrayal, or sadness, and all of those feelings are valid. The key is not to suppress them, but to acknowledge them and then let them go. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend who is suffering. It's okay to feel pain. It's part of the human experience. But through the lens of Stoicism, you can learn to rise above that pain and see it as an opportunity to strengthen your character, to learn more about yourself, and to become more resilient in the face of adversity. As you continue this journey, remember that you are never alone. The Stoics understood that each individual is part of something greater than themselves. There are countless people around the world throughout history who have faced similar challenges and have come out stronger on the other side. Their wisdom is your inheritance, and through it, you can find your way to peace and freedom. Take a moment now to reflect on the progress you've made so far. What is one small thing you can do today that will help you reclaim your peace? It could be setting a boundary, resisting a manipulative tactic, or simply taking a deep breath when you feel overwhelmed. Remember, you are in control. You have the power to choose how you react, to choose your inner peace, and to choose freedom. Let this realization empower you, and know that the journey, though difficult, is ultimately leading you to a life of strength, peace, and independence. As you reach this point in your journey, it's important to recognize the depth of your transformation. What once seemed like an endless struggle with the narcissist, the confusion, the emotional manipulation, the doubt, can now be seen for what it truly is: a challenge that has revealed your inner strength. The Stoic principles you've embraced have empowered you to rise above the chaos and take control of your emotional world. No longer are you at the mercy of another person's manipulation. Instead, you are grounded in your own clarity, autonomy, and peace. The road ahead may still present challenges, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches us to expect difficulty, but it also teaches us that we are capable of facing it with grace and wisdom. You've already begun this process by recognizing the tactics of the narcissist and learning how to detach from their control. Each time you strengthen your resolve, you are reinforcing your ability to navigate life's adversities with calm and confidence. As you continue applying these Stoic practices, understand that you are no longer defined by the narcissist's behavior. Their words, actions, and attempts to manipulate you no longer hold the power to shape your reality. Your value is no longer up for debate. You have reclaimed your worth by choosing to live authentically with integrity and in alignment with your highest values. In those moments when you feel uncertain, when the narcissist tries to pull you back into their web, remember your Stoic training. Pause, breathe, reflect. Trust in your ability to make decisions that align with your true self, not in reaction to their chaos. And remember that every decision to maintain your peace, every time you refuse to engage in their manipulations, is a victory, a small step towards complete liberation. It's also crucial to celebrate your progress. Healing is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each day you are becoming more attuned to your inner strength. Every time you choose your own peace over conflict, you are building resilience and reinforcing the power of your Stoic mindset. Lastly, remember that you are not alone on this journey. There is an entire community of people, past and present, who have faced similar challenges and emerged stronger for it. You are part of a lineage of resilient individuals who have used wisdom, self-discipline, and courage to overcome adversity. Lean on the wisdom of the Stoics, as well as your own growing sense of self-trust, and know that you have everything you need to continue walking this path with strength and dignity. In closing, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Think about the things you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the sense of inner peace that's growing within you. You have the power to shape your life, your emotions, and your relationships according to your own standards, not those of a narcissist or anyone else. The future is yours to create, and with Stoicism as your guide, you will continue to grow, evolve, and thrive. You've got this. And remember, freedom, peace, and true happiness are within your reach. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and keep walking the Stoic path.